I'm Dr. Rosemary Hyde, and today we are starting class 2 of the 6-series program on reading comprehension, adding to our reading vocabulary, and practicing reading out loud with a good English pronunciation, and then practicing creating a short, little 3-sentence presentation and recording it so we can all listen to you on the TOEFL Prep WhatsApp. So welcome. We're very glad to have you join us and are looking forward to this program. I'm going to share my screen so we can get started. So this is class 2, and I've taken this text from a book by Gary Zukav, who's a well-known spiritual writer. It's called Universal Human by Gary Zukav. It was published last year in 2021. So you will probably not find a free PDF version. But I'm just sharing a couple of paragraphs with you, and they're on different ways of seeing ourselves, of perceiving ourselves. So let's begin. As in the previous class, we'll start out, I will read aloud the text, and each text is short. When I am reading, I'd like you to write down word in the chat, words that you would like me to define. When you, if you are doing this without me live, what you need to do is have a dictionary, and you can look up the words that you need to know in the dictionary. It's a really good skill to build, to know how to find words and how to interpret their pronunciation. Then after that, I'll ask you to listen again to my reading, and then play the reading and, record yourself reading aloud. And listen to yourself so that you know when you've said a word really differently than how I've said it, so that you learn by listening to my reading of the text how all the words are pronounced. And then I'll ask you to record your reading aloud and listen to yourself and listen to me and really work on getting your English reading aloud sounding like you're a native speaker of English. This gives you a little bit of text to work with. And we've got 3 short selections. So you can take your time and learn all the words, what they mean, and how to pronounce them. Excuse me. And then practice got hiccups, excuse me. Practice your pronunciation so that you really have a learning session on pronunciation and on vocabulary. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next slide. So the book, The Universal Human, is talking about how our awareness is changing today as opposed to 20 or 30 years ago. We, as human beings, are becoming much more aware of how we are connected with other people and with our planet. And that's a spiritual evolution, and it's happening. It's happening in us and around us right now. So as I read it through, just write down any words that, and put in the chat, any words that you need more information on so you understand them. All our great teachers, the Christ, Muhammad, Krishna, the Buddha, and others, spoke of dynamics that are invisible to the five senses. They called them, quote, the hand of God, quote, creative impulses of mind, quote, angels or devils, and more. They described consequences that are created in the domain of the five senses, but that appear in non-physical realms, such as heaven, hell, and bardo states. Okay, so please put into the chat any words that are not familiar to you. Impulses, thank you. An impulse is a beat, or it's a desire. It's a desire that to act, that right now. And if you act impulsively, you act without thinking. You just do what you thought. Okay, so that's impulses. And realm is like a domain, in domain, a kingdom, an area of perception. So there is the physical realm, what we can see and hear and taste and smell and feel. And then there's the non-physical realm, things that we know by intuition or that we understand through sensation, through just knowing, things that are not physical. And those are the basic two realms or domains that this passage is talking about, the physical and the non-physical. Thank you. Any other words? So interestingly, the word domain in the domain of the five senses, and the next to the last line, and the word non-physical in the last line are opposites. No, I'm sorry, they're synonyms. Domain and realm, I'm sorry, are the two words that are synonyms. Okay? And the writer used synonyms, so he wasn't repeating the same word. Okay, so Abu, is Kazi still with us? Well, Abu, would you please read the text aloud? I'll bring it back.
Yes.
For you.
All our great teachers, the Christ, Muhammad, Krishna,
Okay, let
the
me
Buddha,
interrupt
and
you. The Christ. I know in French it's le Christ, but in English it's Christ.
yes,
So go back. Go ahead,
the
start
Christ,
over. Yes,
Muhammad, Krishna, the Buddha, and others spoke of dynamics that are invisible to the five senses. They called them the hand of God, creative impulses of mind, angels and devils, and more. They described consequences that are created in the domain of the five senses, but that appear in non-physical realms such as heaven, hell, and bardo states.
good, very good job. And you were careful about editing your pronunciation as you went along. So that was excellent. Okay, so let's go on to the next slide. Kazi, no, I'll read it first and then I'll come to you reading it. So again, write down, I'm going to read the title and then the text on the right-hand side. Is the text large enough for you to see? I'll make it bigger. We are much more than we can ever imagine by staying within the limits of our five physical senses. All our great teachers shared the same message. There is more to this life you live than you can see. You are connected to events, experiences, and others in the realm of the five senses and in other realms that you do not perceive in ways that you understand. What you choose to think and do has significance beyond the apparent. You're a part of a larger whole, a dynamic that impacts upon you and upon which you impact. When you choose your thoughts, your words, and your actions, choose wisely and compassionately. You are part of one family, one mind, one love, one universe. Give all that you can to it, and you will receive more in return than you can imagine. Okay, so again, let me invite you to put your words that you'd like explanation for into the chat. Okay, anybody have any words they want to put into the chat from the text? Wonderful. You understand all the words. Great. Okay, so Kazi, can I ask you to read aloud the text and really focus on your pronunciation so that you sound native speaker of English? Okay, Kazi? Oh, he has left. Jesus, can you read aloud? Or
Okay,
some,
I can
okay,
read.
good.
All our great teachers share the same message. There is more to this life that you live than you can see. You are connected to events, experiences, and others in the realm of the five senses. And
In
in
the
other,
realm, the realm.
the realm, okay,
Yeah,
the five
go
senses.
ahead.
And in other realms that you do not perceive in ways you understand, what you choose to think and to do
To think,
has to think and to do has significance beyond the apparent. You are a part of a larger whole, a dynamic that
again,
impacts.
you have a tendency to put words together and other people will not understand you. So when you choose your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Go
Okay,
ahead,
okay.
reread that sentence.
Okay. Um, when you choose your thoughts, your words, and your actions, choose wisely and compassionately. You are part of one family, one
Again,
mind.
you are part of.
You are
You
part
ran
of,
those two. No, part of. There's two separate words.
yeah. One family, one mind, one love, one universe. Give all that you can to it, and you will receive more in return than you can imagine.
Okay, very good. So when you are after the class, when you're practicing reading, pay attention to that aspect of what you have a habit or tendency to do. You did it several times. Make sure that you keep each word separate so that everybody can understand all the words.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. Shall I move on to the next text? This one I need to. Okay. Now.
Hello, Professor. Hello.
Yes, Kazi.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I was disconnected for a few moments ago.
You were what?
I was disconnected.
Oh, yes, right. So you need to go back when after the class and you can practice, reading aloud the text. I'll ask you to read this one aloud after we have finished looking at the definitions and after I've read it once, okay?
Yes, Professor, yeah.
Okay, now the larger dynamic is becoming visible. We are beginning to experience directly what once required faith to believe. The earth is life. The galaxies are life. The vastness of space is life. All is life. The universe is a spiritual enterprise, not a material one. Your soul is an immortal, purposeful force at the center of your being. It is your essence. You are a powerful, compassionate, creative, and loving spirit that has chosen to participate in the evolution of the human species. Your origin is not merely biological. Your experiences are not only physical. Your gifts are far more than they appear. Our species is becoming aware of the larger circumstances of which it is a part and to which it is responsible. This is our new creation story. And this is true. I'm adding a sentence here. This is true, not only in terms of, what we've always thought and what we've been taught spiritually, but the same exact ideas are coming through in new science, in quantum science. So this is, what's actually happening in human consciousness. And it's so exciting to be a part of that. So are there words that you want to add to the chat? If so, do it now, please. Abu, you have your hand raised?
Yes, I had a question.
Please.
Uh, I said that I had a question about the word that you just read. The word directly. You didn't say directly, you said directly. So is this the way we should read it or the other way?
Okay, what was the word?
Uh, in the first per sentence, we are beginning to experience directly or directly.
Yes, directly. Actually, you could pronounce that word either way. The Americans say directly, the British say directly. Does that answer the question?
Yes, okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you for asking. Okay, any other words that we need to consider or questions that you have? Anybody? Dang, every time it comes to time to read, because he has dropped off. This is the fourth time. Oy. Okay,
Yes, I wrote a word in the
say that again.
I said that I wrote a word in the chat box. Could you please explain it to me?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. The vastness. Oh, good word to pick. Vast means expansive, large. It's an adjective. And to make it a noun, you add ness, vastness. The enormous expanse, the enormous area is a vastness. So if you look at the whole sky, it's vast. You get it? Means huge, vast. So vastness is a huge space. I'm going to ask Kazi to read. Is that okay with you, Abu? Okay. Okay, Kazi, quick, read.
Okay, thank you, Professor. Now the larger dynamic is becoming visible. We are beginning to experience directly what once required faith to believe. The earth is life. The
Earth,
galaxies
Earth.
are life. The vastness of space is life. All is life. The universe is a spiritual enterprise, not a material one. Your soul is an immortal, purposeful force
Purposeful,
at the
yes.
purposeful force at the center of your being. It is your essence. You are a powerful, compassionate, creative, and loving spirit that has chosen to participate in the evolution of the human species. Your origin is not merely biological. Your experiences are not only physical. Your gifts are far more than this appear. Our species is becoming aware of the larger circumstance of which it is a part and to which it is responsible. This is our new creation story, and that's my story has become ends.
Okay, thank you. Species is a word you want to think about a little bit differently. Our species. You kept saying species. So can you say species? And purposeful is another word that you could practice saying so it comes out naturally. You did a very good job of reading. You could still use a little bit of work, a little bit of practice, but it's a good job. So this is, the next thing is to use this book, this text, to practice creating your own presentation. And we're keeping it really short so that, you know, it's doable. You can do it. We can listen to it, and it's not going to take too long, but it will challenge you. So 3, actually 4. 4 things. Compose, write, put down a 3-sentence description of some non-physical moment that you've had. They can happen at all kinds of weird times. The shower, when you're taking a shower, is a time that many people have these experiences, or when you're driving a car, or when you're walking in nature, or, you know, who knows? You can be waiting for a stop sign, waiting for the walk signal when you want to cross the street. You just don't know when these moments of clarity about our being bigger than ourselves, our being connected with a large awareness, usually involves some light, maybe not. If you have had such an experience, and most people have sometime, it will be big in your memory. You won't have trouble remembering it. Just describe it in 3 short sentences. And practice telling us in the past tense, because it happened in past time, although it is always true. But it's good practice for using past tense. And finally, when you are ready, when you have listened to yourself, recorded and played it back, and you've practiced any words that aren't sounding totally native, record it and post it on the TOEFL Prep WhatsApp group so that we can all hear it. It's really quite amazingly effective practice. So that's in addition to coming back and practicing reading so that you are sharpening your native pronunciation and practicing understanding those words that you weren't clear about. Doing this additional short practice will help you to really sharpen your English comprehension and pronunciation. And I look forward to hearing your short explanation on WhatsApp, and I will reply. So, and that was not, believe it or not, that was not a religious book. It's actually a book based on quantum science. So, like I said, this is coming together, science and spiritual experience and the teachings of great religious teachers, all of them, they all teach those same concepts. And now we are learning them scientifically as well. So, you know, this is happening. And it's the new story that we get to be a part of. So thank you so much for listening and participating.